Welcome back to I've put a pipe bomb in your mailbox power hour.
I just put anthrax in the mailbox. It's easier. Unless,
Oh,
you don't sniff anthrax.
you don't?
Do you know what anthrax is?
It's the thing that everyone was afraid about being sent to them in the mail.
Yeah, you
right?
touch and you die or some shit.
You know what anthrax is?
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
It's... Do we need to Google what anthrax is? I'm an anthrax mailman, by the way. This is why we're here.
The band? What? You don't know the Christian metal band Anthrax?
It's not a Christian metal band,
I
anthrax.
thought they are a Christian metal band. Do you know who Anthrax is?
Okay.
I'm talking about Anthrax, the metal band from the 80s. Do you know who Anthrax is? I swear to God, they play Christian metal.
It's a powder that... Oh, I guess it's a bacteria. I didn't even know it's bacteria.
Yeah, because you like sniff it and die.
Well, it's like you touch it.
Oh, I thought you smelled it. Look up Anthrax the band.
Get into the body.
Yeah, so if you inhale it, it's in your body.
Oh, I guess.
Man, I knew more about Anthrax than you did. Look up the band.
Band. Heavy metal band.
I thought they were a Christian band too. I might be thinking of someone else.
Thrash metal.
Yeah.
Big part of the big four: Metallica, Megadeth, and Slayer.
Yep. Party pal, the informant named Sato-san had me get into his car before he set off. He favored narrow roads and made numerous short left turns. Checking if we're being followed.
What was his voice?
Like, man, see?
Yeah, you know a lot about this.
Man, checking to see if you were being tailed by making left turns was a rather classic technique. If it was just a single pursuer, you could confirm it that way. But if you were being tailed as a team, this archaic method wouldn't let you shake them. Of course, doing it anyway was better than not.
I didn't hear anything from the boss as to who you were. You are Akasaka-kun, related to the police. If you're familiar with checking for being tailed, the only other possibility I can think of is something like a private detective.
If it's not something I have to say, I'd like to refuse to answer that question.
My. Ever since we played Mahjong, you seem to be a lot more mature. I wonder where that hesitant person went from when we first met.
I smiled wryly. Looking back now, I had to be a little grateful for being made to play Mahjong. Thanks to that, I was able to relieve some tension. Eventually, Sato-san, confirming that there were no cars following us, slipped outside the city. We were on a pitch-black country road, unable to see anything beside the lights outside. The only thing I was able to hear were the hums of the car's air conditioning and the chirping of the insects and frogs.
I heard from the boss that you want to hear a bit about Hinamizawa village, yeah?
Yeah, like about the old houses, known as the Three Families, who control the place. Or that right now, it's pretty much the Sonozaki family running things.
If you know that much already, I'll cut out the introductions.
Then if you would, can you confirm or deny if the Onigafuchi Defense Alliance is involved with the kidnapping of the minister Inugai?
You guys.
Yeah, kidnapping of the minister Inugai's grandson. Sato-san checked the rearview mirror one more time to confirm there wasn't anybody behind us before speaking.
Last night, the Sonozaki main house held a family council. Did you hear about it from the boss?
Yeah, no.
If it was a normal meeting, then it would have been just all relatives coming together with over a nice cup of tea or something. But a family council held by the main house isn't quite so relaxed.
Now it's you.
Yep. A family council led by the Sonozaki main house. That would be a meeting between those who truly controlled Hinamizawa village. They wouldn't be talking about private family matters. It would be about the village as a whole. About organizing activities against the dam project. Among other things, everything would be decided there. In reality, they were deciding the fate of the village. At the head of the meeting was Orio Sonozaki, more or less called Empress Sonozaki. As the ultimate decision maker of the clan, she was to be feared and respected. Infirm with old age, she was often unable to stand on her own, but her words carried enough weight to sway the fate of the village. It seemed that lately she had grown weak, and on days where she wasn't feeling well, remained bedridden. Family councils that occurred while she wasn't feeling well took place with her on the floor. In the middle of the dignified Japanese-style room, still in a futon, only the upper half of her body sitting upright, a stern look on her face. That was Orio Sonozaki. I forgot that her heir is, Mion, and not Shion. And sitting next to her was her heir, Mion Sonozaki.
Mother Sonozaki?
Mom Zaki, yeah. I forgot Mom Zaki's. MILF Zaki's in the game. I forgot about her.
You forgot that Mion has a mom?
Yeah. It's because her mom's me.
You're not hot, though.
She was still young. Young wasn't quite the right word. She was a girl who remained childish. Her role was to merely sit beside Orio Sonozaki, sometimes responding to her requests. However, she was the only one deemed worthy to succeed Orio. She had the same hawkish eyes, enough to give pause to anyone who so much as looked at them. Much was expected of her in the future, this granddaughter of the Sonozaki's leader. And also, on either side of her sat several other important members of the remaining three families, the Kimiyoshi family and the Furude family. First on the list for the Kimiyoshi family was of course the mayor of Hinamizawa village, Keiichiro Kimiyoshi. And lined up beside him were several more of his direct relatives. Opposite them sat the other of the three families, the Furude family. The Furude family was only comprised of the family of a Shinto priest, so the only ones sitting there were said priest, his wife, and their daughter Rika. Rika was doted on by many of the older folks in the village, and it seemed that Orio was no exception. While the stress from just attending a family council was said to be enough to shorten your lifespan by 3 days, it seemed like Rika was the only one exempt from that. No matter how charged the atmosphere was around her, she paid it no mind, instead humming along as she doodled in her sketchbook. In fact, the night before, lying on her stomach while humming and doodling, she nonchalantly tucked her legs into Orio's futon like it was a kotatsu. Looper. All this was the three families, and all around the room, lined up row upon row, were relatives of the Sonozaki family. The only ones who were afforded cushions to sit on were direct relatives. The others were left to sit on the Seiza position directly on the tatami mats.
That's where you're sitting on your shins.
Yeah. They were also almost like a giant snake Sonozaki enshrined at their center. With the Empress Sonozaki enshrined at their center, they were almost like a giant snake coiled around the room. It was decided that everybody would sit in order of their rank. The number of people from the Sonozaki family was overwhelming. The fact that Sonozaki family had so many seats at the meeting where everything pertaining to the village was decided made determining where the balance of power was held in the three families as clear as day. The number of members in attendance from each of the families directly reflected how much influence they had ruling in Hinamizawa. What was talked about at that meeting? Sato? Yeah, right? Sato?
Yeah.
Sato-san, after remaining silent for a while, quickly began to speak. Quietly began to speak.
Wasn't our monetary gift of appreciation to the media a little large?
Breaking the long moment of silence was the head. Actually, you want to read this? Because it's neutral.
Sure. Breaking the long moment of silence was the head of the Kimiyoshi family, Kiichiro Kimiyoshi.
That's me, right?
Thanks. I don't know. I forget. I haven't written.
It's me, Kimiyoshi.
Maybe.
Mion-san, hello.
Are you audio? Or my audio? Who read that?
I think I'm audio.
Oh yeah, you are audio. And I'm Kimiyoshi. Okay, yeah.
I bet.
We got it right.
I figured it out.
The Onigafuchi Defense Alliance wasn't a business. They were nothing more than a private organization pushing for the cancellation of the Hinamizawa Dam project, with no reliable source of income. Fundraising had always been a problem. When they first started operating, they had managed to collect a sizable amount of funds through donations, but as the conflict dragged on, that amount was steadily declining.
Kimiyoshi.
This isn't an era where you can get where you want just by throwing rocks. It's very important you don't underestimate the power of media and want to borrow some of that down the road. And we want to borrow some of that down the road. The expressions of the people related to the Sonozaki family were sullen. As the one who suggested that they should borrow the power, that power was the family head, Oryo Sonozaki. The battle wasn't just about force of arms. In this civilized age, there were civilized methods of fighting. Oryo suggested that creating a strategy incorporating the mass media. Oryo's foresight was spot on, and the effects of that plan, while at first unclear, slowly began to manifest. If the physical confrontation at the construction site was meant to delay progress on the dam by even one day, then the propaganda war using the media was aimed at attacking the dam project itself. At first, there were those who had doubts about that strategy, but there was nobody now who called those results into question. But in order to maintain those media ties, a colossal amount of money was required. As long as that amount of funds they had was abundant, things would turn out fine. It couldn't be argued that it was a massive expense, but the results spoke for themselves. But with the conflict continuing to drag on and the circumstances has changed. The head of the Sonozaki family, no, the one who sat at the pinnacle of the Hinamizawa three families, Oryo, had suggested the idea herself, so it was already untouchable, and continued to be allowed to drain from the budget. Nobody acknowledged that it should be so allowed, but nobody could say anything. That was the price of dealing with the mass media. What do you think, Oryo-san? The only person who could object to a plan proposed by the head of the Sonozaki household herself was probably Mayor Kimiyoshi. Oryo, with a hard-to-define expression on her face, as if she had severed herself from the fetters of mortal emotion, simply listened quietly to Kimiyoshi's words. But really, it was Why am I having such a hard time right now?
Yeah, the text is similar color to the background.
But really, it was hard to tell if she was quietly listening or didn't even have the intention of listening at all.
Audio? Wazowski.
Last year, we went through a lot of trouble getting people to wrap their heads around the price hike on the bulletins we're putting out. We convinced them that it was just the one time. It wouldn't do if we had another one this year, right, Furude-san? The mayor looked at the priest and his wife from the Furude family for affirmation. The priest gave a vague expression, avoiding a prompt response, but his wife gave her answer without a second thought. What?
I'll do it, mother.
You want to be the wife? I don't get to be the wife.
I'll do it for Riddles, yeah.
No. Molf.
Is that a MILF voice?
Oh yeah, look at me. Oh, I'm so sexy.
That's right. The cost of the bulletins are a particularly harsh burden for the poorer families. Everybody is dealing with it for the sake of the village, but it's best we don't increase the prices anymore. The bulletin was, as its name implied, a bulletin published by the Onigafuchi Defense Alliance. It outlined the Alliance's activities, ideals, and resolve, but we couldn't deny the contents were rather piecemeal. The bulletin's main goal wasn't to inform people, but rather was something to sell to businesses and people living around the village or connected to it, and using those sales to collect funds. In other words, it had become something of a tax. Of course, it didn't have to be said that this was one of the main sources of income for the Onigafuchi Defense Alliance.
Originally, purchase was supposed to be voluntary. But in Hinamizawa, it had slightly become the opposite. In manga gamer moment again.
Oh, I see.
In the neighboring towns as well, it seemed that many businesses were buying copies just to avoid butting heads with the Alliance. The priest whispered to his wife not to say anything unnecessary, but was struck down decidedly with a cold glare. Cowering from that glare, the priest shut his mouth. The priest's wife had always held the power in their relationship. That was because she was the one who carried the Furude bloodline. The priest merely married into the family. He was nothing more than somebody who adopted the name just to join the three families. He should have been able to find a spot fairly high up in the hierarchy of things, but the lack of authority in his voice meant that he had still not gained any favor. Casting a backwards glance at her rather disparate parents, we could continue to doodle whimsically, without paying
God damn it, I'm retarded. I'm sorry.
without paying them any mind.
I'm choking, dude.
He's really fucking it up, really skipping ahead. Signaled by a look from Odio, Mion brought her ear closer to her grandmother. There was something was said to her in a quiet voice. After responding with a couple questions, with a nod from Odio, Mion looked around the room and conveyed her grandmother's words.
God damn it, Mion.
There will be no freeze on the price increase for the bulletin.
Kimiyoshi made a face like he had just bit into something unpleasant, but that expression quickly disappeared like it had never happened at all.
But Leon-chan, I think you already know this, but the cost of the bulletin is by no means easily affordable. It's a burden carried by everybody in Hinamizawa. If we make people carry too much of that burden, it's possible we'll collapse from the inside.
And who on the inside would start that collapse?
Who? I didn't mean it like that.
I'm asking, who would be the first to buckle?
Being cross-examined by a girl who still had fragments of childness remaining within her, the words stuck to Kimiyoshi's throat as he sunk into silence. Mion repeated her question once more, looking around the crowded room. Everybody refrained making eye contact to avoid being pierced by her gaze. The words she had spoken were unarguably said in proxy for Odio. That's why when Mion spoke them, they carried the same weight. But the look in her eyes was different. Like Odio's, they had a hawkish gaze, strong enough that anybody looking upon them would freeze in their tracks and yield. But that gaze was without question one that belonged to Mion herself. As Mion would eventually inherit everything from Odio, the day when she would stand up as a young and capable leader in her own right would come. Nobody wanted to believe otherwise for even a minute. That's why nobody even thought of Mion as just some sort of little kid.
Kimiyoshi-san, nobody will lose their resolve over something like a price hike on the bulletin.
Kimiyoshi, while grumbling a little bit, made a gesture as if to say that he had no objection.
The expenses related to the mass media will continue. If those expenses become too much, we'll have no choice but to continue the price hikes.
Mion had rendered her judgment. Everybody bowed their heads, silently listening to her words.
Okay. In the name of Mion Sonozaki, as acting head of the Sonozaki family, I hereby declare that all this shall be effective immediately. There shall be no objections, and any opposition shall be removed by force.
The formal decree was read aloud, indicating her judgment. Oh, I don't know who someone else wrote it.
Oh, I guess so.
I guess. There would be no retrial, but there was a certain authority behind those words that even a courthouse couldn't compare to. If she was a judge, she would have banged her gavel, signaling that the matter was settled. Mion pulled out a large bell from the inside of her clothes and rang it. Summoning Oya Shido-sama. Everybody present could only prostrate themselves before the harsh sound of the bell.
Wait, this is the spooky supernatural schizo bell noise.
That was, yeah.
Party pal. Well, that's a rather old-fashioned family council, isn't it?
A young guy like you probably would probably find it hard to believe. In an antiquated place like this, these types of things have firm roots.
Party pal. It was exactly as Ooishi had said. The old system of the three families had vanished, and now the Sonozaki family was running things by themselves. On top of that, their rule was borderline despotic. Was that the end of the meeting?
No, it was more. I'll continue.
Just gotta remind us what happened.
Ryukishi was like, alright, we're gonna break up the exposition for like 8 seconds to then put you back in the exposition.
Yes, sir.
Eventually, after the ringing of the bells, after the ringing of the bell ceased, there was a deafening silence. Within all that, a lone man shuffled closer to Mion and whispered something in her ear. Mion asked several questions quietly in response. When she was satisfied, she motioned for the man to leave. The man who talked to Mion was a member of the gang that her father was the leader of. That organization had the entire area of Shishibone City under its control, so it was quite well known even here. Of course, this was talking about the criminal underworld, so it's not like just anybody would know. But just showing a patch with the gang symbol on it was enough to resolve any disputes in the neighborhood. Mion's biological father, to Odio, was her daughter's husband. Thank you, Rikishi.
Did you know that Orio is Mion's grandmother?
I had no idea. The power of that man's gang was the driving force that controlled the dark underbelly of the Unigafuji Defense Alliance. And so that man, from his position as the next in line to control the three families, continued to coerce everybody around him with his unconventional pressure.
Yeah, presence.
Mion exchanged a look with her father. Was it okay for her to tell what she just heard directly to Odio? It looked like she was asking him that question. Her father gently but firmly nodded his response. Mion also nodded, then saddled up to Odio and informed her of something. Eventually, Mion finished conveying her message, separated herself from Odio, and fixed her posture, waiting for Odio to signal her response. It wasn't often that Odio showed any emotion. That's why, when she started to laugh quietly, a vague sense of uneasiness crept over everybody in the room.
Mike Wazowski.
Is that really her voice?
No, but I don't know what it was before. I know it wasn't this, but I don't know what I did.
It's just
So
a
it's
lady.
It's gonna be this.
That's
I don't know if this is what it was, but I don't remember.
It wasn't
what it
that.
Used to
It
be.
definitely wasn't.
I don't know what
Mike
it was.
Wazowski.
You want me to sit here for 15 minutes to try and figure it out? I can.
Just go, I guess. Just go.
You want me to go with crone voice? Like, hold on. I'm an old lady. You know?
Whatever.
We're going with
Whatever
Mike
you wanna do.
Wazowski.
Mike, that's quite the conundrum, isn't it?
I like this.
Odio was laughing so happily that Kimiyoshi had to hesitantly ask.
What is it, Odio-san?
If this Mike was out,
It's this again.
if this land is like a mother to us, then this business with the dam is like somebody threatening our mother's life, isn't it?
Kimiyoshi, unable to comprehend the meaning of her words, looked confused. Odio, with a wide grin on her face, turned towards everybody and addressed them in a clarion voice.
I'm sorry. I got Lord and
The minister behind the dam project is apparently rattled over the kidnapping of his grandson. That makes us even.
this is
Akasaka.
I keep wanting to call him Akihabara.
Akihabara.
Yeah.
But that's absurd. Information on the kidnapping of Minister New Guy's grandson shouldn't have leaked from anywhere. How did they know? Even if we didn't know much about the kidnapping incident, exactly how did an antiquated household so far away from Tokyo come to know of it? It was tranquil play. It was tranquil.
It was a tranquil place.
Yeah, it was a tranquil place, but I couldn't help but have an uneasy feeling about Hinamizawa village.
Did they just not care, Manga Gamer? That's 2 of it in this chapter. There's 2 last?
3.
We have 3 already
I think
here.
we're at 3, yeah.
At some point, I had mentally filed this place away as unrelated to the incident at hand. That mental paperwork had just blown away in the wind. How did the Onikafuchi Defense Alliance know about that? Sato-san, unable to come up with an answer, fell into silence. I'm sorry. Please continue.
Sure. The minister...
I don't know how to get, like, Kimiyoshi.
Yeah, Kimiyoshi.
The minister of construction's grandson. Was kidnapped? Oreo-san, is that true?
That major of an incident was nowhere to be seen on in the newspapers or on TV. But in Hinamizawa, there was nothing strange about Oreo knowing something that the rest of the world didn't.
Our pain is the pain of losing a mother. I don't think it completely makes up for it, but the pain of losing a grandchild. You'll have to bear with that for a bit, don't you think?
The last question wasn't addressed to anybody in particular. It was as if she was looking for consensus.
Still, land and a human child are different things. I don't mind hiding him here, but I want no harm to befall him. The child isn't to blame. Make sure to keep that in mind.
What? That's crazy.
Bloody hell. And that means the Onikafuchi Defense Alliance were involved in the kidnapping.
I can't say for certain.
Why? Even though their leader, Oreo, was clearly given orders on the treatment of the kidnapped child.
Lad, you see, this is what the Sonozaki family always does.
Always does. What do you mean by that?
Let's say there was a particular problem. One that wasn't exactly favorable for the Sonozaki family. If Oreo shows concern over that particular problem, hearing that, somebody who attended the family council would be helpful. As a result, Oreo's wish would be granted. However, neither Oreo or anybody else would know who actually did it. With this kind of clever little ploy, the Sonozaki family was able to manipulate events even though they had their hands laid out on the table.
Wait, that's smart. That's literally smart as fuck. Because then you can't pin anything on anyone.
Yeah.
As long as you like groupthink alibi everyone, no one can do anything.
As long as you say, as long as you act as if you are in control, nobody can say you're not.
That's cool. Then, that means that somebody who was at the family council was the culprit.
Or, there's a possibility that there was never a culprit in the first place. Oreo herself, in that room full of people, didn't explicitly say that somebody pulled off the kidnapping. She was just giving her opinion.
It was an odd and unpleasantly secretive way of doing things. Were they involved or weren't they? I couldn't see beyond the veil. This much, however, I could say with certainty. This kidnapping was an ironclad secret. No matter how high a position someone was in, even they wouldn't know about it. If there was somebody who would know about it, they would be connected to public safety. In other words, one of us. The only other option were people connected to the case itself. Body bow, including the minister. There would be people affected by the incident, or the people that committed it. In any case, there was no way an old household in a place removed from Tokyo by 6 hours of highway travel should know about it. Them knowing it all was already strange. My suspicions began to accumulate, like fallen snow.
So, Tokyo is the same distance. Hinamizawa is the same distance from Tokyo as Mobile is from where we are right now. By driving.
That's so fucked, dude. Me driving from basically one end to the other end of... Or no, because it's Tokyo.
Just Tokyo's like right in the middle.
Yeah, me driving literally half of the country of Japan in the time that it takes to drive to Alabama. Smiley. And it's not even deep Alabama, it's furthest East Coast Alabama. Fuck off.
That's as much as Oreo said in regards to kidnapping. Hopefully what you wanted to find out wasn't there. After this, it's up to you. I don't know what kind of work you're doing, but if you're going up against the Sonozaki family, you best prepare yourself. Ooishi might be fearless, but even he's been attacked 2 or 3 times. He hasn't been wearing it lately, but at one point he was wearing a staff-proof vest while off duty.
Oh. Hey, thanks for the warning. I'll be careful.
You speak pretty well. Are you from Tokyo by any chance?
Huh? Yeah, what's your point? Investigators were always close to danger. It was best not to divulge any information on myself.
Your job. Could it be you possibly you're good fuck. Could it you possibly be somebody? Thank you, Manga Gamer.
Manga Gamer did a dog shit job at translating this chapter.
Thank you, Manga Gamer. I love this is so great. Fucking Christ. Your job. Could it be you possibly what the fuck is a sentence? Could you possibly be somebody from the Metropolitan Public Safety Division?
I couldn't remain silent here. It would be the same thing as admitting it. Huh? No way.
This wasn't accounted for from the money I got from the boss. There's somebody who played at the same table today. I'll give you this one as a freebie. After Odio talked about the kidnapping, there's one other topic that came up.
Another topic that Oyo brought up. Audio brought up. And right before he told me this, Sato-san asked if I was from the Metropolitan Public Safety Division. In other words, what those 2 things meant caused a chill to run up my spine.
It's audio.
This is audio?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's audio.
Okay.
So you see...
Oh, wait. No. Yes, it's audio.
Okay. So you see that in order to investigate the kidnapping of the minister's grandson, there's word that there will be an investigator from public safety dispatched all the way from Tokyo.
An investigator. Fuck.
Trying to differentiate.
An investigator from public safety.
They can't be reckless and made a big deal over the kidnapping.
You good?
Okay. So it seems the Metropolitan Public Safety Division is investigating this one on their own. Ain't that grand? What's this?
What is it?
Or what is it?
Rika, who had been drawing the entire time and was completely uninterested in the conversation up until now, looked at Oreo with an interested face as soon as the topic of public safety came up.
Oh, Jesus, Rika.
Did the Metropolitan Police come?
Oh, so Rika-chama knows about the Metropolitan Police Department. That's very admirable.
Who came?
Is there anybody that knows what kind of guy from public safety came here?
Mion's father raised his hand slightly. I hear he's a nice young fresh piece of meat. Fuck. I hear he's a nice young oh my god! I can't!
He can't read.
Young piece of fresh meat. I hear he's a nice young piece of fresh meat.
Fresh
Nope,
meat.
no.
Oh, no.
Fresh meat? Is it nice and tender?
Yes, it is. Fresh meat.
Mion's father smiled wryly as he answered Rika's question. Tender and tasty.
Yeah, tender and tasty.
Rika smiled with interest. Why did Rika suddenly act interested only when it came to this topic? That was a question that apparently nobody had the answer to.
Does Rika-chama know something about this man?
I don't know. After a rather flat reply, Rika buried herself underneath Orio's futon again. But when she buried herself there, Rika no longer started drawing again. Instead, she was making an expression like she was deep in contemplation.
That's Mion?
Nope.
What shall we do?
Oh no.
What shall we do about him, mother?
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
Mion's father.
Yeah.
Mion's father posed the question. He had the type of uncouth expression on his face indicating that, given the order, he could snuff the problem out at
Anytime.
any time.
Oh yeah. He came all the way to Hinamizawa. Let him take it easy for a little while.
So you're saying just let him go? I was like, so you're saying just to let him go around as he pleases?
Mion's father asked in response. Odio smiled thinly as she responded.
Leave him alone. But if he starts causing too much mischief, when that happens, don't hold back. I don't enjoy being taken lightly.
There we go. His cover's blown.
Oh my god,
Oh my
his cover's
god.
blown?
Oh my god, his cover's blown.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. I mean, I figured it would be when Rika, was like...
Go back to Tokyo.
Yeah, when Rika looked at him and started reading out his IP address.
No, that's Rika. Rena's thing.
Get doxxed by Rena. That's you.
Is what they were talking about, apparently. It couldn't be that you're the fresh meat from the Metropolitan Police, are you?
Tomatake Flash.
Tomatake? What are you doing here?
Bloody bell. It couldn't be. The sensation of cold, bristling fear began to crawl its way up my back. This family council took place last night. In other words, yesterday. Then today, when I was dressed up as a tourist headed towards Hinamizawa, my cover was already blown.
Monka, because he ran into Rika.
Rika.
I was gonna say Mion. I'm like, no, he didn't.
Body bell.
What? Oh, that's my phone. I thought that was the game. I was like, are we about to get a new track?
But I remembered the first person I met when I got to the bus stop. I couldn't breathe.
I love the Rika-chan track.
The person at the family council who expressed interest in the man being dispatched from the Metropolitan Police, Reika Furude. And then, the person who was waiting for me the whole time in the bus shelter, Reika Furude. It was an unthinkable image. No, it was a delusion. When we met at the bus shelter, did Rika-chan already know my true identity? Did she know that I was Akasaka, dispatched from the Metropolitan Police Department and come to meet me? Then, including Mayor Kimiyoshi, every villager that I met, everybody knew, but pretended not to. Because Oreo had given instructions not to interfere. Thinking about it logically, it didn't seem possible.
Little does he know it's incredibly fucking possible.
I met quite a number of people. If there's people that are good at acting, then there's people who are bad at hiding things. If there was that many people, then there should have been somebody among them who knew I was from public safety and couldn't hide their hostility. However, I didn't feel any presence like that. But then, even still, why did Oreo tell them to leave me alone? Was it because if they were careless about it, it would only raise more suspicion? Or was it because they believed a rookie like me wouldn't be able to find anything? Akasaka is a coward. I recalled that strange voice which had only made me believe that Rika-chan had been possessed. That unknown entity, no matter how you looked at it, knew my true identity from the get-go. And then, how did it warn me again? That's right. It warned me to hurry up and go back to Tokyo. Instead of the realistic worry that the Onigafuchi Defense Alliance had discovered my identity, the absurd worry brought on by the unknown girl stuck with me more. What exactly was that girl? What was the thing I would eventually regret? That mysterious girl. Rika Furude. Let's stop this. Everything I was thinking of right now was merely conjecture. Tomorrow, first thing in the morning, I'll report everything I heard right now to HQ and await further orders. There was no mistaking that the possibility the Onigafuchi Defense Alliance were related to the case was there, and that the fact that my cover was blown meant I was in a precarious position. But as everybody at HQ was already extremely busy, they might not be able to spare the support. Is that everything? Oh, whoops.
Is that everything? If you want, I can drop you off wherever you like.
Nah, sorry. In that case, the station where we originally met, please. A rural road where even a streetlight was rare. I couldn't see anything. I wasn't aware of anything but the asphalt that was lit up by the headlights. Outside of that light, was it simply darkness? Or was there something lurking there, waiting to strike? I had to think I drew the short straw here. I wanted to go back to Tokyo. For some reason, the voice of the girl warning me to go back to Tokyo still lingered in my head.
Yeah, exactly. You fucking with the fucking Rika track, somebody's like, ugh. You.
I love the Rika track.
What's in the box?
Head?
Mahjong prodigy.
I love Akasaka. He should go back to Tokyo and be with his wife.
Go back to Tokyo.
Fuck exploring Hinamizawa. That place is scuffed.
The investigation runs aground.
I got you.
Jobber.
Sure.
Yeah, yesterday, when we met up at the restaurant in Ginza, that topic cropped up. That's upper stepping their boundaries, isn't it? They're meddling too much with public safety. They keep doing that, they're gonna set a bad precedent.
You want me to...
Sure, just
Well, it seems that Minister New Guy is openly... A new guy.
No, that was exactly it.
Damn, I'm tripping. It seems that Minister New Guy is openly uncomfortable about the way public safety's doing things. The Vice Minister is probably going to say something to that effect during Monday's debate session. But what can you do?
We only have the director We can only have the director address the vice minister. That's why we pay him the big bucks.
Ah, well, if it comes to that, they're going to ask him for proof that the minister's being threatened.
Sometimes I don't know what side he's on. If he's not on ours, then what?
Well, he's probably getting some pressure from the minister. We'll probably just have to proceed with the investigation while he sweats it out in the vice minister's office and buys us some time. He might get so wrung out to dry that all that'll be left are dregs, though. So how's the investigation going?
And all the juicy leads I was pinning my hopes on turned out to be duds. Honestly, I'm at a loss.
There are reports that the Hinamizawa Dam project has been showing up a lot lately in the minister's press releases. So what about that?
Well, you say it's showing up, but it's really more of a very slight feeling that something's strange. He just happened to mention it during his speech at the Bullet Prefecture Forum. So it just might have been something that he was mentioning because it was relevant at the time.
If I remember correctly, a local organization there was protesting quite violently, no? The Onigafuchi Defense Alliance? I think Akasaka-kun was investigating that.
I think those guys could possibly be behind what's happening now. Even if we can't say there's anything overtly suspicious about them, it might not be prudent to remove them from the picture. Akasaka-kun reported in passing that he couldn't deny that possibility.
Then, isn't there merit in investigating them? We're going through everything with a fine-tooth comb, so if they're one of the suspicious groups that are left, we'll eventually have to.
Well, they're not the only group we should investigate, right? If we're just talking about groups that are suspicious in Onigafuchi, there's quite a few of them. We don't have the men, the time, or the money at all.
I'll try asking for more details from Akasaka-kun. I feel like we should pay some extra attention to this defense alliance.
He's reported that he's established a rapport with the villagers. It also seems that he's collaborating with the local police.
Keep your contact with Akasaka-kun on the down low. Also, if there's anything in his info that merits investigation, it's possible we can send reinforcements.
Got it.
Sorry, Chief
Katoaka.
Katoaka. There's a phone call from the director. Should I transfer it over here?
No, it's okay. I'll head over there. Yes, hello?
Gorp?
Gorp?
That's what he said. He picked up the phone. The guy went Gorp.
Gorp? What's in the box?
It's a head.
Alright, can I remember how to do the voice?
It's from 7.
Do you believe there are choices in life? There are many people who lament the following. If there only existed points in life where there were clear choices to make, we'd be able to scrutinize those carefully and make decisions that would lead us to a better future. Every time I hear people lament as such, I cast it off as a rather trivial worry. Even if you were given a clear choice, it wouldn't be meaningful at all, and there wouldn't be any such path to a better future. Is this hard to understand? Then let's pretend that in front of you there are 2 strange boxes. In other words, you have 2 clear choices. Do you open the red box or the blue box? A lot of things would be uncertain even in that choice, wouldn't they? If you don't have the option of opening neither, then your choice boils down to the natural impulse of opening the box that has better result for you. Then, after examining the shape and features of each, and pondering a great many things, you have to pick either the red or the blue. If it was up to you, which box would you open? Red or blue?
I'm picking the one that's on my right.
If you were to go by the traditional meanings, the red would be the dangerous, threatening color. However, that doesn't automatically mean that it would be calm and relaxing inside the blue box either.
What'd you do? I hit enter. Just tap into this.
Oh yeah.
See, now you know what it feels like to be me.
In fact, it might even be that the colors are a trap, and make you wary of the bread box.
Red box.
In fact, it might even be the colors are a trap. That the colors are a trap.
2. They're missing a 2.
To make you wary of the bread box. It's a bread box again.
Is it larger than a bread box?
In fact, it might even be that the colors are a trap. To make you wary of the red box and have you open the blue. A trap. Could it be that the contents of the box aren't a reward, but rather a penalty? See, now you're at a loss. You're so conflicted over the choice between red and blue that you started wishing there was an option to open neither and just leave. But there isn't. You have to open either the red box or the blue box. Oh, I forgot to say this, but if you choose one box, the other will disappear. So you'll never know the contents of the box you don't open. I'll just put that rule there at the end there for you. Now, why don't you choose the red box or the blue box? It's alright, you won't lose anything by picking either one. Come on now. Pick the red box or the blue box.
Can I actually pick? Okay, I can actually pick? I'm Red Box Gaming. I've been Red Box Gaming this entire time.
This whole time. Have you thought about it?
Because I'm thinking, yeah, red box, blue box. And I like picking the one on my left. So I picked the one on my left.
But what if it was on your right and you didn't realize?
We'll see.
They were top and bottom. They weren't even left and right.
I like picking the one on my left. I do like picking the one on my right as well. I figured red R for right, but then I thought about it and I was like, well, you have like red, blue. The point is, I wanted to pick the red box. I wanted to pick the red box the whole time. She can talk all of her bullshit about words that I don't care about. I'm going to pick the red box. It's not that deep.
Have you thought about it? In the end, you chose this color, didn't you? As soon as you chose, the other box disappeared.
I don't care.
So you can give up. You can give up on the contents of that one, okay? That's the rule. Now open the box that you chose.
I hope it's a bomb.
Inside the box was a piece of caramel.
Wait, that's huge!
I know you're a little disappointed. Well, that's only natural. No matter how you look at it, it looks like you drew the dud. The correct box might have had a bar of chocolate in it, for all you know. No, in fact, something incredible like a pair of tickets to Hawaii might have been in there. But even if you wanted to verify that, the other box has already disappeared. There's no way you can check now. But if you think about it from an optimistic point of view, just maybe, the other box was empty and this box was the winner. And being satisfied, or perhaps not, with such a cheap prize, you pop it into your mouth and start
That's
chewing it happily.
That's me. Take out literally everything that was said before this sentence and just say, it's a piece of caramel, and then immediately cut to, and being satisfied with such a prize. You put it in your mouth and start chewing it happily.
So, what do you think in the end? If you were given a second chance, would you try to open the other box?
No.
But unfortunately, the chance to choose between the red box or the blue box has come and gone, never be seen again. The chance to change your selection will never come. Don't your parents often say, every choice you make in life will only happen once, so choose carefully? See, choices aren't that great after all. Even if you are aren't you a little disillusioned now?
You can't gaslight gatekeep girl boss me. I'm very simple. I make very simple choices based off of incredibly simple conjecture. You put two boxes in front of me, one is red, one is blue, I pick the red one. Could have a bomb in it, I'd be like, fuck man, that's cool. And then I would blow up.
You don't even want to know what was in the blue box?
No, I don't care. Who gives a shit? I got caramel out of the red one, bro. That's huge.
The tip's still there. We could go. You want to?
No.
You don't even want to see if it changed?
No.
Like it could, like
I don't care. I'm confident in my decision.
Okay.
I have unshakable confidence in the fact that I would immediately pick the exact same option again because it's a cute little cool piece of caramel that I can eat. I'm not a pussy, Tyler.
But you don't even want to see?
No.
You're not even curious?
No. Genuinely, I'm not. I genuinely am not curious at all. Like, I honest to God don't give a shit. I got caramel, bro! Who gives a shit? I wanted to pick the red one. I got caramel. This isn't me making this decision. This is Tyler.
Yeah,
this is Tyler. I'm not faltering.
Well,
I'm not gonna look.
I'm gonna read it.
I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna listen to you.
Have you thought about it?
I'm not looking.
Fuck you. In the end, you chose this color, didn't you? As soon as you chose, the other box disappeared. You can give up on the contents of that one, okay? That's the rule.
This is also gonna be a piece of caramel.
Now open up the box you chose. Inside the box there was a stick of chewing gum.
Yeah, it's the exact fucking same.
Right now you're thinking, that's it? That's right. The contents of the red box and the blue box were a piece of caramel and a stick of chewing gum.
See, it makes fun of you for going back.
You might have thought you made the wrong choice before, but now you're seeing them together like this, you can't really say that either choice was the wrong one. Well, I guess everybody has their personal preferences. If you prefer caramel to gum, for example, you're definitely think of choosing to open the box again based on that preference. The clear choices you wanted were basically this. The selfish desire to open both boxes and compare the contents, then pick the one that most suited you. But you see, reality is the same as this game. If you pick one, the one you didn't choose disappears. There's no way you could check the result. If at that time you had done this, or perhaps if you had done that, then it wouldn't have been hard to imagine that you could be happier, or perhaps less happy than you are right now. In the end, you only have the pleasure of approving or being disappointed by
the choices that you make.
But that's fine. After all, didn't you enjoy the thrill of making the choice? If, like now, you knew the contents of both boxes, then the choice between the red box or the blue box would just be a waste of time. Because instead of this boring game about boxes, you could be looking at the quickly changing evening summer sky, listening for the distant sound of thunder, and pondering if it's going to rain or not. That'd be much more fun.
She's 100% time looping.
Wouldn't have you been sad if you missed that? The extra part of the tip.
I was right though. The red box was the superior box.
Alright.
But yeah, Rika's 100%.
Usually the fucking worst workout is abs. I can't.
Because you move and you go. And then like when you wake up the next morning, you go to get out of bed and you go like.
the pain there is the worst pain.
Because it's not even like you can kind of reach there. You're like, oh, it's just like, it's like,
It's not even that. I don't. It's just.
it's ouchy.
It's actually just the worst location for pain.
Agreed.
The glint
your
in the
balls.
demon's eyes.
I guess.
I mean, other than your balls.
I guess see what Jackass said.
The jackass say.
Sakimi-chan is at GalaxyCon.
Who? Oh, the
girl that draws the Gorp anatomy.
yeah, the anatomy girl. Face.
She's at GalaxyCon. That was all. Sorry, I needed to see if it was relevant or not.
It's
You
never
know
relevant.
how
It's never relevant.
women are.
This is going in the video.
And then can you do the box choice thing again, where you make your own version? It's like, it's the clip of me saying that, and then the clip of me going, you know how men are. You know?
Yeah, sure. I don't know how I would do that, but yeah.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
With what I got here.
You're a smart guy. This is Akasaka.
Nope.
No, Akasaka to me.
No. It's
Gorp.
just go Leon.
Gorp.
Or Oreo. Go Oreo.
Audio?
Since there's nobody on the screen.
Okay.
And we're in the Sonozaki house.
Break it down, burn it down, don't hesitate when you go big time.
Like, yes. So the wake will be from 6 p.m. tomorrow, and the service will be the day after from noon until 1. The venue will be Okinomiya Ceremonial Hall. I see. It's Deputy Mayor
What, somebody had...
Aikizawa.
I don't know who's talking.
It's Mikeyzawa. Laugh, laugh,
Here you
laugh.
Oh, it was Mion. I was right. It was Mion, and then it was...
God, dog it, dag nabbit.
I see. It's Deputy Mayor Mike Uizawa's grandson's funeral we're talking about. We have to pay our respects. Mion, I'll have you go in my stead.
This voice sucks. I hate you.
Tyler hates everything I do in this game.
I
Like, unapologetically every time.
Okay, got it.
I have done one thing correctly in his brain this playthrough. Can you name what it is?
like Sadako.
Exactly. That is
There was another
that's
voice.
the
What was-
only right thing I've done.
What was the other voice I really liked?
Am I getting a phone call? My mom's calling me.
No! No!
Hey, mom. Oh yeah, I'm reading Mion.
Okay, got it. Should I wear mourning clothes? How much should I bring for the funeral offering?
You can go in your school uniform. Make sure you button it up properly. For the money, 50. No, 100,000 yen. They've done a lot for us.
That's good. I like that. Neutral.
Okay.
Neutral.
I'm looking for the start.
Mion quietly whistled.
Mion quietly whistled in awe at the exorbitant amount of money her grandmother was offering.
Mikazawa-san's been a prudent person ever since his days as head of the Okinomiya Municipal Office. Even if those government types paid me a visit, they'd always stay outside. But whenever I offered Mikazawa-san a cup of tea, he'd come inside and carefully listen to what I had to say. He always lent a proper ear to what people had to say. Others should learn from a person like him.
The two guests made a show of nodding, making it clear they were paying attention as Oreo reminisced. The sight of them trying not to get on Oreo's bad side was humorous enough to elicit laughter from Mion occasionally.
How young was Deputy Mayor Mikazawa's grandson when he died?
11 years old, apparently. Orio closed her eyes and shook her head lightly, lamenting the loss of such a young life.
If I recall correctly, he said he only had one grandchild. How sad. There's nothing worse for a parent than outliving their offspring.
You're real nice to other people, Granny. If Shion or I died, would you be this sad?
Mion calling her out.
Don't be stupid. Saying something like that is bad luck.
Having got the reaction she expected, Mion cackled. The two guests, unsure if they were supposed to laugh along, instead forced awkward smiles. We'll take our leave for today, then. We'll be by tomorrow evening at 5 to pick you up. Until then, please excuse us. After bowing their heads repeatedly, the guests left by the front door. Mion saw them off, waving her little hand goodbye. Why do you say it like that?
Why are you Hishi?
They're gone. It must be rough for them to pay you a courtesy visit, Granny. It would have been fine if they just broke the news over the phone.
Should just do Mion, but old.
Hello, it's Mia.
That's Mion, but Mike Wazowski.
Mion, but old?
It's Mia.
I can't, dude. I don't know how the fuck I would do that.
Yeah. Well, it was true that Orio Sonozaki was a central person for both her relatives and the residents of Hinamizawa village as a whole. As a voting bloc, they numbered in the several thousands. It wasn't hard to imagine the mayor would try to pander to her. Unlike Mion, however, Orio was looking up longingly at the sky from the veranda. Mion.
Yeah.
What's the matter? Are you going senile?
I just thought that no matter whose grandchild it was, I'd feel sorry for them.
No, if I could do Mion, but old and young. Young for Shion, old for Mion, I would 100... Or sorry, old for Audio, I 100% would. Tired of being buzzing.
Just turn off the button.
But I need to know if I'm getting a phone call.
No, you don't. You're busy. You're
fuck them kids.
You fuck them kids. You're occupido right now.
I gotta pick up the phone if someone calls.
Saying that, she let out a deep sigh. Mion was let down, as normally her grandmother would have scolded her for that attitude.
Mian, you know that the minister's grandson. How long has it been since he was abducted?
4 days, maybe?
Odio let out another deep sigh.
You may be the grandchild of our bitter enemy, but I still feel sorry for him.
Really?
That's enough of a warning. We should bring this to an end soon.
The playful expression drained from Mion's face, leaving behind a stern one. Then, as if to ascertain Orio's will, looked into her eyes. Orio, expressing her intention with only those eyes, looked back at Mion's.
I want some tea. Could you call for some? Some of that chocolate, too.
Mion gave a small nod, and then turned around.
Yeah.
Shimiko-san, are you there? Grandma wants some tea. Could you prepare some?
From far away, a voice responded in the affirmative.
Yeah. I hope that didn't pick up.
Mion, after confirming she'd been heard, picked up the phone and began dialing.
Ah, hello? This is Mion. Yeah. Is my father there?
Is he the manager?
Of what?
The site? The manager. No, dumbass. The manager. Because we talked about the manager in Watanagashi and Onekakushi.
The manager that
And
visited...
they called the manager.
Right.
Is it her dad?
No.
Who's the manager? I know that Keiichi was like, oh, well, the manager, the only manager I know of is the manager of the Dam Project. Maybe he's still alive.
We also know of another manager that we learned of last game.
Idiot? He's a doctor. He's not manager.
He manages the baseball team, and then
Oh,
Shion
yeah,
is
he
the
does. Oh yeah, no, Shion's the manager of the baseball team.
yeah, she's the manager, and then Irie is
The coach. Yeah, so then the only managers we know are Shion and the manager of the thing. Could probably be her dad. Does her dad get a sprite?
Also, remember, like, this is these game like
This game doesn't matter. Yeah.
no, that's not what I'm saying. The term manager in Japanese is there's the term for manager in Japanese can mean a lot of things. So
Okay. That's fair.
because
I did not think
when
of
when you
cultural
when you
context.
translate when you're translating what Mion and Rena were saying in Keiichi's room, you can go with several things, and manager's what they went with. And then they call Irie coach, and then Shion's the manager is the manager,
Yeah, of the baseball team.
but she doesn't really manage. She doesn't do shit.
She doesn't do
She's
shit. She's a lazy bum.
Lazy bum. Ever since Satoshi disappeared.
Satoshi died, yeah. Ever since her cute boyfriend got
Satoshi
bored.
died.
Satoshi's dead, dude.
Rest
I
in peace.
killed him. Save him
would
the
you
bottom
kill
right.
It's gonna mirror. This is the mirror world. This is the that's the
Hey, we're back.
What's it's the
Alternate dimension? Mirror dimension?
underneath in Stranger Things.
Oh, the upside down?
Upside down, yeah.